Hello, my name is Keshwani. It's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for GMAT. We have been solving GMAT math problems out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide to 13th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 290. Please turn to it, page number 290, problem number 162. And today is our lesson number 226. Let's take a look at it. Problem number 162, it says simply, is k 5 raised to k less than 1,000? That's all they are looking for. Very simple, very straightforward question. Is 5 raised to k less than 1,000? Let's see what they tell us about the k. In the first statement they tell us that 5 raised to k plus 1 is more than 3,000. Well, 5 raised to k plus 1 can be written as we know, 5 times 5 raised to k, which is what we're going to do here. 5 times 5 raised to k, we are told, is greater than 3,000. If we were to divide both sides by 5, we can get rid of this 5, and we find out that 5 raised to k is greater than, there are 6 5s in a 30, so it's 600. So we find that 5 raised to k is more than 600. What does it tell us about k? Well, we know that when k is equal to 1, it equals 5. When k is equal to 2, it will be 25. And when k is equal to 3, 25 times 5 is 25 times 4 is 125. So far so good. And 25 and 5 raised to 4 would be 5 times the amount, which is 5 times 100 is 500 and 525 is 125, we just found out. So 125 plus 500 is 625. But we are told is 625. We do not know if this quantity is greater than 625. We do know that it is more than 600. So what this tells us is that k is, whatever k is more than 3. Is more than 3. We cannot say that it's more than 4, because in order for it to be more than 4, this quantity would have had to be more than 625. So k is more than 3. What does that tell us? Let's take a look. Does it tell us at all as to what we can, does it enable us to answer this question? Is 5 raised to k less than 1,000? Well, let's find out. We know now that k, whatever it is more than 3. Well, k could be 4. K could be 4, in which case we just found out 5 raised to 4 would be 5 times 5 is 25, 25 times is 125, 125 times 5 is 625. So in this case, question is 5 raised to k, is 5 raised to k less than 1,000? Less than 1,000? In this case the answer is yes, it is less than 1,000. But for all we know, see, all we can tell from here for sure, here is that k, whatever it is more than 3. So k could be 4 or k could be 400. Who knows? If k happens to be 400, then 5 raised to 400 is more than 1,000. Oh, sorry, rather, 5 raised to k, is it less than 1,000? The answer is no. Is it less than 1,000? The answer is no. Here the answer was yes. Is 5 raised to 4 less than 1,000? The answer is yes. 5 raised to 4 is less than 1,000. Is 5 raised to 400 less than 1,000? The answer is no. We do not know what k is. Simply knowing that it's more than 3 is not going to enable us to tell definitively if this quantity 5 raised to k is less than 1,000. It depends on the value of k. The first statement is not sufficient. A, D, B, C, E. Because we just found out that the first statement by itself is not sufficient, we know now answer cannot be A or D. It would have to be either B, C, or E. Let's take a look at the second statement. In the second statement, they go on to tell us that 5 raised to k minus 1. What did they tell us? 162. 5 raised to k minus 1 equals 5k minus 500. Oh, this is weird. 5k minus 500. Let's bring this 5k over here. Or better yet, let's bring this 5k minus 1 over there. So it's 5k minus 5 raised to k minus 1 equals, in other words, we're bringing this guy to the other side, we're bringing negative 500 to this side. So it becomes 500. This 5 raised to k can be written as 5 times 5 raised to k minus 1 minus 5 raised to k minus 1 equals 500. So here we have 5 raised to k minus 1 as the common factor. We're going to take it out. So we end up with 5 raised to k minus 1. Here we're left with 5, and here we're left with just 1. Because you see, this quantity times 5 is going to give us, see right here, 5 raised to k minus 1 times 5 minus 1 is going to give us what we started out with. This times this is going to be 5 times 5 raised to k minus 1, which of course is 7 because this is 1. You add the exponent, you end up with 5 raised to k, and here we end up with minus 5 times k minus 1, which is what we had here. So this thing equals 500. And that's just 4. So 4 times 5 raised to k minus 1 equals 500. Divide both sides by 4. Divide both sides by 4. And we end up with 5 raised to k minus 1 equals 500 divided by 4. Half of 500 is 250. And half of 250 is 125. We're almost there, okay? Just be patient. So now we have to continue from here. So 5 raised to k minus 1. 5 raised to k minus 1 we just found out is 125, but 125 is simply 5 raised to 3. Therefore k minus 1 must equal 3, and that in turn tells us that k must be 4. Now that we know a definitive value of the k, we can answer that question in either affirmative or negative. That's all. So, is 5 raised to k less than 1000? The answer turns out to be yes, because 5 raised to, let's put it in here. Let's do it here. 5 raised to 4 is 25 times 5 is 125, 125 times is 625. So 5 raised to 4 is 625. Is it less than 1000? The answer is yes. Again, as I always remind you, the point here is not that the answer turned out to be yes. The point here is that we are able to say definitively yes or a no. The answer does not need to be affirmative. Anyway, second statement does the job. Because the second statement by itself is sufficient, the answer is B. The answer is B. You want to do one more? Let's take a look at next one. 163. Oh yeah, 163. Alright, if you're up for it, let me take a look at the time in the back. I'm still here. We are 9 minutes into it. Let's call it a day. I don't want to start the next one because next one is going to be quite long. It's a nasty one. I will see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.